Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve Larson. I'm sorry. In our Twitch chat, brain dead by default, just hella cracked me up. We're studying. We're doing our studying right now at the very last minute for Quizzlemania tomorrow at 1 p.m. live on the YouTube channel Parts Fun Known. Yeah. I am looking forward to this so much. It's the tag team interim championships are on the line, and we have managed to politic our way into a new faction, the Church of Friendos. So you, Larson, me, Steve here, Queen of the Ring, Alex, Kayla Vision are all teaming up so that if they win, we win. If we win, not going to happen, they win. And if we all lose, and that's what it is.
Then none of us win. Yes.
Then none of us win. Exactly. So, sorry. Brain dead killed me.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. So
it should be a lot of
unanswered
fun.
questions of the history of wrestling.
It should be a lot of fun. Kayla and Alex are the only two people that the Enforcer and I have ever invited on, welcomed into our Unsolved Mysteries house. So I'm very excited to be doing this. Obviously, Luke and Ollie, friends of ours, great people. Tempest, a walking encyclopedia of wrestling knowledge. I think Pete is his partner. Pete and I have a little bit of history. We were a Thrown Together tag team on one of the episodes of Quizzlemania that I was on. So I'm eager to beat those guys because I feel like Tempest is kind of the guy to beat. But Alex, former Quizzlemania champion herself, I think we've got some ammunition on our side on the Church of Friendos. You and I are useless, though.
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
Unless it's about who knows each other better.
Then it's a gimme.
Then it's ours to take.
We should walk away with this easily.
It wouldn't. It would be
the case.
Leaving people in the dust.
Should. But we'll see what happens.
Somehow, we actually did end up coming out tops in the Parts Fun Known poll they did on Twitter.
So that's a win.
Saying, who do you think is going to win this thing? And we came away with like 40%. Our Church of Joshi friends and Church of Friendos co-faction members also clocked in with like another, 30% or whatever. So like we have a commanding majority between the four of us. A lot of fun that's going to be. Anyways, a lot of fun also. NXT tonight. Finn Balor's last match in NXT. Not confirmed at all. But
without a doubt.
But common sense. My source, the only source I need is common sense.
See, we did get a shot of him making his entrance before the main event. It's all over his face.
Yeah, it is.
It's all over his face. He was soaking it in.
It really is, yeah. It really was. They had a packed, like for the Capitol Wrestling Center, they had a much more packed show tonight in terms of
they very, very immediately between the packed CWC having commentary standing out there, big fight feel.
Yeah, sure.
For this main event. I thought the main event overall delivered, especially the last third of it. Man, Finn made me really think for a moment or two he had a chance, even though I knew darn well that he didn't.
Okay, well, here's the thing, is also Kross is ready for main roster. He really is. So I was that match, the first time when Finn dodged the forearm to the back, I was like, whoa, okay. Like, I didn't see that coming. And then when he really started to put it together, I was like, oh, wow, this might actually happen.
I looked at the time. I was like, oh, there's 7 minutes left. There's 7 before, like 7 o'clock.
Oh, was that 7 before? Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It was a rad moment. And I was like, okay, where are they going to take this? And then, like, when Kross no-sold the tope to the outside, I was like, okay, interesting. But Finn just kept coming back. And it really was the thing where, look, it's kind of obvious one of these guys is going up to main roster. Finn has been talking about in interviews, but even that could be the kind of thing where it's like, hey, maybe in interviews, drop this info because we have plans for Kross and you're going to be Mr. NXT. So you never know how they're going to do these things. And maybe Vince saw Kross at some point, was like, oh, I've got to get my hands on this guy because he's perfect for main roster. But no, Kross ended up submitting Finn Balor. He didn't tap out. He passed out. And yeah, so still NXT champion, the very dominant Karrion Kross.
Yeah. I mean, he was booked dominant in this match because, even in the face of Finn's most consistent string of offense, at a certain point, Kross would just get up and kind of no-sell it,
Yeah.
Or really modestly sell it. So, it's going to take... They found a fine line between in this match, I thought, the booking of Kross as we see him in his previous stuff, like the FWS stuff in Vegas. Sorry, FSW, Future Stars Wrestling, in Vegas. The first Finn match, and then bringing in a little bit of the stuff from when he was kind of just unstoppable prior to his injury. It's a good balance right now. He offers up something that NXT doesn't have.
Yeah.
Is he the best wrestler? No. Yeah. But he's good enough to tell some effective stories in the ring, and I thought this was a pretty well told, effective story. Yeah. That in the end, both of them look good.
They both look great. Yeah, they both looked absolutely great. I thought they did. That moment where the ref was about to count Kross out, I was believing it. I really was. And then he held his hand. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah, that was good.
It was a great moment. It was just a really well conceived, well executed match. I really loved it. And the rest of the episode was pretty decent itself. It actually moved stories quite a bit. It kicked off. We'll just go right into it. Kicked off with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez taking on Shotzi, Blackheart, and Ember Moon. Did you get the feeling on this match? Because I was paying attention, but I was sort of still settling in. This followed the same format as most of those stories. Raquel dominates. Dakota Kai kind of needs to be bailed out. They made it kind of obvious in this one, right? Dakota Kai just needed to get bailed out every single time.
That's been the running, story element since pretty much Raquel and Dakota have been a tag team.
Yeah.
And I think it's been pretty effective because no one really talks about it. On camera, they don't mention it at all. Raquel is cool with it,
Yeah. And it's funny because commentary, they won't bring it up as a running thing, but they always notice it when it happens. And they've done such a good job of everybody performing to the degree that it might actually be kind of surprising when that finally falls apart.
Because here's the thing is, generally speaking, Dakota, if her and Raquel have the advantage, has a tendency to give it up. But at the same time, she gets enough offense in during matches that it kind of masks that as a running thread,
Yeah. And Raquel
seems really got to pay attention. Yeah.
Raquel seems to be so distracted by, for example, she felt disrespected by that awesome Eclipse counter to her finish towards the end before Ember eventually got the pin on Dakota Kai, that she was just steamed afterwards because of that, more really than losing the match. She was like, you're going to disrespect me. This is what happens now. And then she had Dakota Kai hold Ember Moon down while Raquel completely destroyed Shotzi on the outside. And yeah, even a couple weeks ago when they did that interview with Raquel and Dakota, and their sort of difference in philosophies about Raquel being able to respect Martinez at the end of their match, while Dakota Kai is fine kicking her head off and disrespecting her. It's just, hey, that's just who we are. We're different people, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's so refreshing. I hope they don't go the standard pro wrestling trope of, oh, Dakota Kai just wants the title. She can't stand being, in the shadow, and so she's going to go after her. That might end up being the story, but I like that they're taking a more subtle approach to it.
Yes, and taking their time with it. So, Ember and Shotzi pick up the win. I guess they're next in line for a tag title opportunity. Is that kind of the idea?
I get the feeling that's the case. I think Regal might have said as such last week. That would not have surprised me. Terrific match.
It was really fun. After that, we had a Ciampa and Thatcher promo. They said they kind of got ahead of themselves, calling out MSK because grizzled young veterans are still in the picture. Ciampa they got in front of them. That's fine. There are many paths. Thatcher says now it's time to run through them. Ciampa recounts 2 instances where they've either had a match or had a run in. Essentially says it's tied. There's got to be a round 3.
Yeah. After that, we had Pete Dunne. I'm kind of surprised they just did this week. I felt like this was going to have like another week of build. Pete Dunne versus Bobby Fish was up next. So this is kind of funny. Bob Fish has new music.
Mm-hmm.
Normal. I mean, that makes sense. He's not with Undisputed Era anymore. Cole, O'Reilly, Fish. All of their music sounds like discarded potential Undisputed Era themes.
Well, that could be to a degree. Like Adam Cole's kind of vaguely sounds like Undisputed Era.
There are some pretty distinct.
I don't think Kyle O'Reilly's
bits.
necessarily sounds anything like the Undisputed Era. The thing is, they all sound kind of generic, if memory serves.
But so does the Undisputed Eras.
But
it's like generic / NWO. It's like what TNA probably would have done.
Yeah.
I think
It has that reference point, which kind of makes it a little bit more than generic. Whereas all these songs they have now are pretty generic.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Kyle O'Reilly's separates. That's his song sounds like a babyface theme song.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know, the tempo, the chord progression, all that. It sounds like a babyface.
That being said, out of all of them, I kind of like Bobby Fish's. Like I was like, that's cool. I mean, it's a bit generic, but it's got some swagger to it. Because I don't know what he's going to end up. I really don't know what he's going to end up doing.
Well, I know what he did after tonight. I know he's going to do next time. He's going to beat Oney Lorcan.
He's going to beat Oney Lorcan, but I mean, after that, how much of a run? You know where I see him? Forming another tag team with somebody else. Yep. That would be the perfect spot for him because I don't see him in a singles capacity at all.
And it's not because he's a bad wrestler. This match was a lot of fun.
He's a terrific wrestler. I think just personality-wise, I don't know if he's going to click. As a singles guy, I just don't see it. I didn't see it the entire time in the Undisputed Era. Granted, he was injured a lot of that time, but it's like you think of all the moments of personality when they Undisputed, which really was their thing. It was their chemistry.
Well, I will say this in his defense, his best moments were his little kind of asides that he would throw in there.
Yeah, sure.
When he would say these things when he wasn't the focus of what was going on, you know? He'd just have little asides kind of under his breath, and those were always way funnier than whatever his lines were, you know?
Yeah, he always had really good subtle things, but that's the problem is that it's always bouncing off of somebody else. Which is why I think, look, he was in a terrific tag team for ages. Redragon, of course, to Dragon again.
The Dragon again, of
with
course.
Kyle O'Reilly.
How can we forget?
And so, I don't know, find somebody for him to tag.
Maybe he'll start a tag team with Oney Lorcan.
You know what it might be? I was thinking that'd be cool. You know what it's probably going to end up being? It's probably just going to end up being Bobby Fish going at Oney Lorcan. And he needs the odds to be evened. And guess who's going to show up again?
Kyle O'Reilly.
Roderick Strong.
Oh, Roddy.
He's
getting called up. He already handed in his resignation.
It was a manila folder. We don't really know what was inside of it.
Well, I think he said he was done. Isn't that what he told the Regal? He handed him that envelope, and I think he said, "I'm done."
When Lacey quit the post office, she has like a 3-year option to come back.
All right.
Maybe he's got a return option. He sees his friend out there. He's like, hey, I didn't want the Undisputed Era to end. I wanted to work it out. Bob Fish wasn't even around. I don't blame him for any of this stuff. I'm going to go help him out. They would make a terrific. I think they were a terrific tag team while they weren't they tag champions at one point? Wasn't like almost every. It was never those two.
I don't think so.
No,
it was Roddy, Kyle. It was Kyle and Roddy, Cole, and then it was Cole. Fish, and then Kyle.
Fish, and then Kyle. But it was never. See, there you go. There's another thing they can say. Hey, it was everybody. Oh, there's my camera again. Hey, it was everybody else except us. Boom. And then they can bring back the music.
But no, I think Cameron Grimes already bought all that.
Did he actually? But was that kayfabed? Okay.
He bought the IP. Again, fun match. Peter Dunne. Peter Dunne, going after Bob Fish's surgically repaired triceps throughout the match. At one point, Dunne hits an armbar, snaps Bob Fish's fingers. Fish reverses into an armbar of his own, and then pretty seamlessly, Dunne escapes and hits a bitter end to get the win. Oney Lorcan lays into Bobby Fish after the bell, tosses him to the bottom turnbuckle, puts him on the apron, and then stands on his chest and puts his other foot on the wrist of Bobby Fish's, again, surgically repaired arm. Oof. And just stretches the heck out of it.
That was nasty. Stretch.
And then Russ come out, break it up. Oney gets one last kick in, and then he and Pete Dunne leave.
Oh, for sure at that point, Roderick Strong was going to come out.
No, man, he's going to main.
I would love that. think Fish needs him, though. Fish needs him more. Besides, like, the matches are going to be better in NXT. Roderick Strong should stay there.
Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, BetterHelp. Several years ago, while dealing with severe anxiety, I learned the importance of talking to a therapist, but also discovered that it could be extremely difficult to find the right person to talk to. Today, BetterHelp is providing a safe and private online environment where your needs will be assessed and you'll be matched with your own licensed personal therapist.
BetterHelp isn't a crisis line, nor is it self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online, all without having to ever sit in another uncomfortable waiting room.
BetterHelp is dedicated to facilitating great therapeutic matches. Send your counselor messages at any time or schedule regular weekly phone or video sessions. They made it free and easy to change therapists if needed.
And you don't have to limit yourself to counselors in your area. BetterHelp services are available worldwide, so you can find the expertise you need regardless of location.
We want you to start living a happier life today. As a Going In Raw listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/raw. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health.
Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw. So after that, Mercedes Martinez is walking around backstage. She says, did I win my match against Raquel? Nope. Did I learn? Yes. She's about wins and learning. She says, back on the road to the title. And then coming out of the break room is Boa. He's like, oh, man, I just microwaved some fish and broccoli in here. It stinks. It's nasty. After that, we had a Hit Row promo. These are always great.
Yeah.
Swerve basically says, all eyes are on the NXT title match tonight, but he also calls out Bronson Reed. Top Dollar, on behalf of him and the Adonis, call out Legato and MSK, but then Adonis calls out Kushida. So they're all calling out people.
Correct.
What's the girl's name again?
B-Fab?
B-Fab. Why isn't she calling out the women's division? She needs to call out the women's division.
I don't know. After that, we get Mercedes Martinez versus Zeta Ramier. Fun match. Zeta got a little bit of offense in at the end, but then it was pretty much all Mercedes the rest of the way. She hits an air raid crash to get the win. She's about to celebrate. Lights come down. Lights come back up, but they're red now. Fog fills the ring. You know, it's
Tien
Shaw.
Yeah.
Lights go back down again. They come back up, and now Mercedes Tron is up. Her music's playing. She looks at her hand, and there's a mark on it.
She's a mark. I think that's what commentary said that. They were like, is she the next mark?
And she's trying to, like, rub it off.
You know, she's rubbing off. You know that, it's probably like an in-joke with HBK and Triple H. Oh, look, who's the next mark? Jeez, what's with my camera?
Yeah, it's been an issue today.
Acting up. Might have to get a new
say USB.
Well, you know what I could do? I could try. It might be my Elgato. I could try plugging that into the gaming Elgato thing I've got down there and see if that works. Another day. Anyways.
Another day. We're in the middle of something right now. We get a quick shot of Toni Storm. She's chatting up Ted DiBiase. She leaves. Robert Stonebrand walks up. DiBiase's like, whoa, come no further. Throws a bunch of money in Robert Stone's face, and he walks away.
After that, we had the $1 Million Face-Off. I like this quite a bit. Grimes comes out. DiBiase comes out. And Grimes goes into like a babyface speech. And he says, everyone wants to know why. I wasn't always rich. I didn't always have this lifestyle. Then I start to flaunt it a bit. And you start humiliating me. You start embarrassing me. You know, I know you don't know this, but I've always looked up to you. And I saw because of you with money. And somehow he delivers this in a babyface manner. I could treat people terribly, Ted DiBiase, and they would still like me. I could get little kids to dribble basketball and kick the ball away, and they'd still like me because I have money. It's true what they say, I guess. Never meet your idols.
Yeah. And then DiBiase says, I like you. They have more in common, or we have more in common than you think. And he says, maybe I put you through all that hell because I see a little bit of myself in you. DiBiase says he's there because he's looking for that one individual that embodies everything the $1 Million Man stands for. It's not all about money or humiliating people with money. It's about in-ring performance. He says Grimes delivers in the ring. But since Cameron Grimes has become rich, he's lost his focus.
Come Hey, guess who's here now, dummies? Hey, incels, it's LA Knight. Oh, Ted DiBiase, I hear you talking about your $1 million legacy. In case you didn't realize, LA Knight interrupts, comes down.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you. Walking down this ramp is a man who has Kavorka. It's the perpetual momentum machine of badassery. Yeah. Grimes calls him a nickel and dime. Knight says, if you're looking for Ted DiBiase, hey, if you're looking someone to take your legacy to the next level, there's one name, LA Knight. Did his beard look darker? Something looked different.
I didn't really
about
notice.
him.
He had a new jacket, and he had yellow sunglasses.
He was yellow. He was NXT themed tonight.
Yes, he was. So Ted says, I know who you are. I know that you've had a great deal of success. You have a shot becoming a mega star in NXT, or he does have $1 million body and $1 million mindset. Cameron Grimes says, all right, we get it. You're jacked, but you're no Cameron Grimes. This is $1 million face-off. Get out of my ring, or I'll kick your ass to the moon. And Grimes turns to try to resume the face-off with DiBiase. Knight grabs him, drops him with his finish. He leaves. Ted walks to Grimes on the ground, tells Grimes that he's just never going to get it. And then Knight and DiBiase walk up the ramp together.
I appreciate, though, the Knight was like, you might be a millionaire, and LA Knight's not. He's living a comfortable life. I wish he would have expanded on that a little bit. Yeah.
I got a nice 2-story condo.
I do my insurance through the General. They have great rates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have a well-appointed Dodge Charger. Yeah.
Yeah. Well-appointed. It's a 2016. Yeah. What's wrong with that? I got in it when I bought it from CarMax. Yeah. It smelled like a fart. That's okay. Because I'm LA.
5,000 miles on it. Yeah.
I shop at Dollar Store. Yeah. My toilet paper is like sandpaper. That's okay because I can afford it because I'm LA Knight. Couldn't afford to live in LA.
We get a quick bit of Frankie Monet getting ready for her match. And then we see Indy Hartwell looking backstage for Dexter Lumis.
Yeah.
So Mackenzie's following her, try to get an interview the whole time. She's like, where's Dexter? Where's Dexter? And she walks upon Everrise doing their show.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what are you doing? You're up at the show. And she just says, I'm looking for Dexter.
Yeah.
And then Martel loses his cool, asks if she wants to take a swing at him.
She's like, what? Because she's like, what show? What show? What show? What are you talking about? It sounds like you want to take a swing at me.
Yeah. And then Drake Maverick walks in, says that Indy's been through enough, said he saw Dexter in kind of the next room over a while ago. So she goes in there and it's dark. Turns the light on. The wall is covered with all sorts of
like broken
images
heart
of heartbreak.
Artwork. Yeah.
Yeah. They're really pushing the tortured artist aspect with this particular scene of Dexter Lumis.
Is Dexter Lumis going to be kind of thing where like for years, like perpetually in NXT, they'll like find ways to make him relevant and we'll always be wondering when the bottom's going to drop out of that one? Because like it's still working. It's still working.
It is. It is.
But you always have to think, okay, how far can they really take this? Where can they go with this? Anyways, after that, we had Frankie Monet versus Cora Jade. Frankie basically dominated this match.
Yeah. Cora got like 3 moves in, and that was it.
Finished with a glam slam.
Mm-hmm.
Beth Phoenix
I like that Beth
recognized
Phoenix saw that and goes, that looks familiar.
Yeah, so that looks familiar.
That's great.
After this, hold on, I got to bring up your notes because were you able to catch this verbatim?
No, I was not.
Okay. Still, your notes are probably better than mine.
Maybe.
That's like
so it's kind of all blended together. I didn't make note of who said what.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I did the same thing. Oh, here we go. All right.
It starts out with Gibson. He has a first line.
Yeah, he's got the first bit, but he's just I'm gonna do this as if it's all him. Okay. I'm just gonna read your notes verbatim. Right. It says this: Grizzled young veterans promo says last week was nothing personal. So before Champ and Thatcher get carried away, they didn't come to us for petty rivalries. They came for
US. So we didn't come to US for petty.
We
rivalries.
didn't come to US for petty rivalries. They came for tag titles. We're done with them. And then it's
they being Grizzled Young Veterans.
I'm just gonna keep on saying this. Yeah, I'm just gonna this is verbatim.
All right, fine.
GYV says they're watching. They are the champs of this division. No, they are the champs this division needs. Not Ciampa / Thatcher or Legado. -- They'll soon be recognized as tag champs.
That's good. We get a quick Bronson Reed video package, and then this was great. We get an Imperium video where Walter again is lecturing, but you know those workout mirrors they've been advertising on TV? It looked like Walter was inside one of those.
I thought, yes, it does. I thought they were running with the hologram. I swear, if I didn't see the edges of the screen, I was like, wait a second, are they going with Walter hologram? Because it hella looked like one.
It did, because you could barely notice that, because, they're watching the TV because the rest of the room was completely dark.
You could barely, it was all in a dark room. You could barely make it out. And they put a filter on
Walter's voice to kind of grain it up a little bit.
Yeah.
His audio wasn't clean.
Yeah, and like because they were filming a screen, his picture was not all that clear. It looked kind of hologrammy.
It did. It looked like there was, it looked like there was distance between the surface of what they were watching and where Walter actually was, which is why I thought it was the person inside the mirror.
Yeah, it's not. It's not Peloton. Peloton is the.
No, it's the other one. Gosh, what's it called? The workout mirror. Peloton's the bike.
That's the bike. There's the other one, and I know somebody here in chat will get it. It's on the tip of
my tongue too.
Yeah. It was awesome, though. It was fantastic. So basically, he says, he says, hey, get your shit together. Alexander Wolf was a weakness, and you got to start somewhere. So take out Breezango because they took your tag titles. They're showmen, and you are wrestlers. The mat is sacred. Tonal. Thank you. Tonal.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes. Walter was stuck in the tonal.
God, how great would it be if Walter was doing your tonal? You get those tonal, but it's a Walter tonal.
Be great.
Hey, look at you. You're flabby. Yeah. More jumping jacks. More jumping jacks. And it's just on a loop. More jumping jacks.
Yeah. It's like 10 minutes of jumping jacks. Now it's time for burpees.
But then you get on your Peloton and he shows up there too. Hey, you need to move faster on your bike now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that, we got a Bronson Reed promo. He talks about it took 14 years for him to get there. It wasn't an easy road. He had to fall down and get back up. Proved he had a lot of doubters along the way. A lot of people who told him no. North American titles prove you don't take no for an answer. You work hard, you grind it out, you become champ. He says, whoever's going to try to take a shot at getting this belt off me, you got a colossal mountain to climb. This brings out, I was very happy to see this Legado del Fantasma.
I know, I was so happy to see this too.
This was great. So they give Reed an ovation on the floor.
Says he said, sorry, you've got a telenovela story going there. Brought tears to our eyes, and they get out tissues. And they throw the tissues in heel fashion.
It was great.
He says, I gotta say though, I can't relate to anything that you said. I was born a champion, el campeón. He says, I wasn't even born to belong to this business. This business belongs to me. After your victory, something caught my eye, and it wasn't your colossal mass. Ooh, the North American title. He says, I am the emperor of Lucha Libre. I see the North American title, and I see USA and Mexico. And then Joaquin Wilde comes to me and he says, what about Canada? He says, Canada doesn't count. I thought we agreed on that. He says, North America represents Mexico, which means that belongs to me. He says, your celebration, and then he does an Australian accent. He says, your celebration is over, mate. He says, I'm going to do what I do best, take what's mine. And then when they start to approach Reed, MSK make the save and run off Legado.
Yep. Very excited to see Santos get into that North American title picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's great. We get a quick announcement from William Regal. Next week, there'll be a triple threat match to determine a new number one contender for the NXT title. Kyle O'Reilly versus Pete Dunne versus Johnny Gargano. John. Winner of that match takes on Kross at TakeOver. It's going to be Gargano.
Kyle O'Reilly, Gargano, and who?
Pete Dunne. It's going to be Gargano.
Pete Dunne.
That's why they spent all that time with Gargano and Austin Theory dealing with Karrion Kross a couple weeks back. It's going to be Gargano.
Let me ask you first. Who is more likely to be a dispatchable short-term story?
Gargano.
Not Pete Dunne?
Building up.
Kyle, they want it to be Kyle to be the guy to take it off him.
Well, I think kind of parallel. They're building up Kyle and Pete Dunne as contenders.
It ain't going to be, but by the way, it ain't going to be any of these guys that takes the title off him. It's going to be Bronson Reed. It's going to be Bronson Reed. I mean, that dude, he is going to be, especially, like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, at takeovers, I guess. At takeovers. He is going to be built up to be a massive babyface. And I think it's going to be him. I just wonder if they're going to wait for Gargano a little bit, but I guess not, huh? I guess Pete Dunne could be occupied with Fish. They'll probably going to run back Cole and what's his face?
O'Reilly, yeah.
O'Reilly. So, yeah, it's probably going to be Gargano.
It's 100% going to be Gargano.
Yeah.
All the confidence points, Gargano wins this match.
All of them.
Also, next week, MSK versus Legado for the tag title. So that'll be a good episode. Strong episode of NXT.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Then we got our main event.
Then we had our main event. Like, we kind of went through this, including the finish.
A little bit. I
Terrific
mean,
match.
it was really good.
match.
Basic story was they were kind of working over each other's midsection, ribs, lower back. There's that one bit where Finn got booted right in the lower back.
He welts up. Like, there's one person I can think of off the top of my head that welts up better than him.
Sheamus.
Two people, Daniel Bryan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys welt up really well. Balor's up there, though. That guy, he wears his matches.
You can pretty much see Kross's footprint in his lower back.
You totally could.
And he got bent like in the corner like this. It's
Yeah, it looked really nasty. That
looked nasty.
The second, I think he gave him, so a little bit later on. So it was let's see here. So Kross slammed Balor back first into the barricade glass, comes back in, a powerbomb attempt, but Balor hits a DDT to counter. Mm-hmm. And then a sling blade, a lariat to the outside, a tope to Kross on the outside. That's when Kross does the no-sell. Mm-hmm. And then he puts Balor through the table, or on top of the table, back inside. Balor gets some offense and goes for a coup de grace. Kross evades a German suplex, and then probably the ugliest Saito suplex. That looked nasty. Like, that was the worst one. They're always kind of ugly. Saray's are really ugly, too. And when I say ugly, it just means like it sucks.
It looks like whoever takes it is getting jacked up.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he does that. He goes for the forearm, but Balor counters with a roll-up. Balor gets a submission. Kross mounts his back. Balor gets out of that. Mounts Kross's back. Some ground and pound. And then the ref took Balor off him.
Which I don't get.
I didn't get that either.
Did you think Kross was out?
At that point, you ring the bell. If you think the guy's out, that's the match.
I know.
But yeah, I was like, wait a second. If he can't defend himself, I was like, okay, I know in MMA, like, that's the match.
Yeah, that was confusing why the ref separated them. I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all.
So Balor locked in his own choke, clutch type thing. He got Kross in a triangle. And that's when the ref was like checking Kross's hand.
That was really good.
And then, well, he checked it because these days they just do the one. And then as he's like going to bring it back, Kross holds on to him, which is really good. He powers up, power bombs Balor off him. Balor gets up. They have a really great face off.
Oh yeah, Finn totally no sells that power bomb.
Yeah, it was awesome. Kross gives him a clothesline, a forearm to the back, and then again stomps Balor's head a bunch. Cross jacket. Balor passes out, and Kross gets the win. So yeah, just a really terrific match. I don't know why I only gave this 3 3/4. That was a 4-star match.
That was a 4-star match. That was good. I'm happy to see you finally come around to Karrion Kross.
I'm happy to see Karrion Kross has finally come across to wrestling that I can get on board with. That's the key. I don't out now just don't like people for no reason. I always have a reason. Whether it's legit or not, it's subjective at that point. Whether it makes sense to anybody else. Subjective.
Want to answer some questions, yeah?
Absolutely.
All right. Bong Hits All Day with a sub. Thank you so much. Broken Wheelchair is asking, is there a place we can watch you guys on Quizzlemania?
Parts Fun Known.
Parts Fun Known. Starts 1 p.m. Pacific.
Let's see if they might have already uploaded the
link.
Drop the link here in chat.
Could be.
Here it is.
Could be.
Wow, 2 people are waiting there.
Wow.
With bated breath. There it is. You can set your reminders right there. The link is in chat.
There you go, Steve. Put the link in chat. Yoshibul, perpetual motion machine of badassery might be my favorite line of the year. That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
LA Knight just goes out there and thinks of stuff that's going to make him laugh.
Exactly. That's why it's great. Fear and Loathing says, you need a reason to dislike Kross. Look at some of his IG follows. I get it. I know. Honestly, there's tons of wrestlers out there. I just try to separate that stuff as long as it doesn't really, as long as if they make it so obvious that like I don't have to do any research, I don't have to like go digging for stuff. it is what it is. You know, not going to be on board with everybody's politics and their way of thinking. You know, I mean, if you're out there like Jake Wirtz, then yeah, I'm going to have a problem with that. I'm going to be like, no, I don't want to see that guy on my TV. So, anyways,
Gareth says if Grizzlies Young Veterans win the titles, how do they incorporate soon into the promos? Soon to be recognized as the greatest tag team in NXT history.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Rob Conway guy. Oh. When do you think NXT/WWE will finally pull the trigger on Toni Storm? Feels like she's constantly just waiting around when she could be at the level of the 4 horsewomen. Thanks, guys. Hey, let me ask you this, because this is sort of tangentially related.
Uh-huh.
What do you prefer? Because I think seeing the landscape now, I kind of know what I prefer, even though it doesn't really make sense. A dominant champion who you know basically nobody in the division right now is going to topple them. Or more parity, where let's say there was no Kross and it was Kyle O'Reilly as NXT champion, and you have Gargano and Cole and Reed, a bunch of people who could potentially take the title
Pete
off
Dunne,
him.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne. At the same time, over in the women's division, you have Raquel Gonzalez. And it's like, she's dominant. Nobody's going to take her down anytime soon. It wouldn't shock me if maybe to eliminate the idea of, to give her a more interesting story, to give her some vulnerability, have Dakota Kai take it off her, and you have sort of maybe a Ciampa Gargano thing where it's like, oh, there's a little bit back and forth there. Dakota Kai knows her better than anybody.
Yeah.
And she has the emotional advantage as well. But as it stands now, I don't see anybody taking that title off Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah, same.
Which do you prefer? What do you think is stronger?
I mean, honestly, I prefer whatever tells the best stories is what I prefer. I don't think I have a preference per se. I like parity because I like the idea that anybody on any given night could pick up a championship. I think that adds excitement. That's sort of
all things being equal. That's kind of, if you look at the tag division, it's like, man, in NXT, it's not a huge tag division, but it's like whenever they have a match, I have no idea. I really don't.
I'll say this is regarding parity. One of the most exciting aspects of the Attitude Era was you had, on Raw, conceivably probably 6 people who could be champion easily, maybe more, and that's exciting because you have matchups like for a reign like Karrion Kross or like Roman on SmackDown. Whoever they're putting in front of him now is not going to win, no matter how great the match is, and that eliminates a bit of the drama from the match. And I like drama. I like the drama of storytelling in the ring. And part of that is you got to have some doubt as to who's going to win.
Yeah, Raw is terrible, but in some, I don't even like that. It sometimes sort of the negative version of that is, well, how much faith do they really have in Bobby Lashley? As opposed to, hey, are they going to try to tell a really good story? Like sometimes I get, you go into that area where it's like, okay, is this guy really going to keep the title? Because he doesn't seem like a guy that Vince would like. And that's stuff that I hate when my brain goes there, but given what we do, it goes there.
It happens. Yeah.
Like in a really good story, it's like, man, anything can happen on any given night. And that's when it's at its best. And so I think in that respect, even though right now one of my favorite stories is the Roman Reigns head of the table stuff, but so much of that relies on stuff that isn't even related to the title, like the Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso wrinkle.
It's the interpersonal dynamics and the personalities involved. Totally.
Yeah. But then, of course, it's also Roman looking straight in the camera in a close-up and saying, my special counsel gets to celebrate me. With a big smile on his face. What's a special, unique surprise?
So good. What a unique surprise.
Rob Conway, getting back to Rob Conway, guys, question. You think WWE is going to give Toni Storm any sort of big push?
Oh, eventually. I think so, yeah. I think right now they have Raquel with the belt. I'm assuming they have plans for her. And they'll see that story through. Maybe Toni Storm will be involved in the title picture once that story with Raquel is done. I think Toni is still pretty young. I think she's in her mid-20s.
Yeah, I feel like you're right.
She's got time. She's super talented ever since she's turned heel. I think from the promo perspective, she's been great. I don't have any doubt that eventually they'll give her a push.
I think they're going to get to. I think that they are going to try their damnedest to tell a Gargano Ciampa story with Raquel and Dakota Kai, with some great twists and turns. Dakota's going to get that title, and it's going to come off as believable because of how well she knows Raquel. It's going to turn Raquel babyface, and then you can line up the heels at that point. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if at that point Toni Storm, if they would actually, pull the trigger on a title run with her. It wouldn't also shock me if Raquel Gonzalez went up to main sooner than later. I don't know if I'd lie. I mean, if she goes, I don't know how I feel about her on main roster though. I mean, given what they've done with Nia Jax, with Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
I mean, she could have a Bianca run, but the odds aren't great.
Night by night, you recently decided to spice up your living room with a fresh coat of paint. You'd probably do it yourself, but the project would be easier and more fun with a friend. What NXT superstar do you ask help you move furniture, tape off the trim, and paint the room?
Okay, move furniture is going to be Braun Strowman.
No, I think it's just one. One
guy does everything?
And it has to be an NXT superstar.
Bronson Reed. I feel like he can do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely move furniture.
He seems like a good dude too, so
seems
you can
like
have
a
a
swell
conversation
guy.
with him. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good answer. Uninvited Ghost. There was no Cal Jack on AEW this week either. On another note, what are each of your favorite swears and break a leg tomorrow?
My favorite swear is just fuck. It sounds great. It's a wonderful word.
It's very versatile.
It's very versatile.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's see here. Do you want Wolfpack for life? Do you want the Fiend in NXT to revisit the feud against Balor? Not really.
Not because Balor's on. He's not going to be in NXT much longer.
And plus, I mean, just the Fiend in NXT. I'm not huge on that idea.
No, agreed. White Brownie along with Finn. What other NXT talent could you see debuting on main? Io, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Io. Well, Io, I think, is on vacation right now.
Oh.
I think she tweeted that or something.
Gotcha.
Taking some time off. It's funny because I actually like Toni Storm's chances on main roster better than Raquel Gonzalez's right now.
Interesting.
I think that she's got a personality for a really solid singles run there, as opposed to just throwing her in a tag team.
That could be.
Alex.
Sorry, go ahead.
Alex Foster. Do you guys think Kross will vacate the belt just when he decides he's done everything? I hope not. I really hope not. I think they're going to build Reed into a believable challenger for him when they're ready for Kross to go to main roster.
Yeah. Yep. Fear and Loathing. 80s Vince McMahon would have hated the $1 Million Man's bland suit and Payless sneakers.
They're probably comfortable, though. Let's see here. David Matushik, how much exposure should Todd Pettengill get in your house? He should host. He should be the everything. He should be hosting the entire thing.
Do little segments between matches, all that. Kyle, so since I'm in a new day, can I get a happy 24th birthday from Zach Gibson and Ice Cream Man? Good luck to you, friendos at Quizzlemania. You got this.
Happy 24th birthday, you absolute unit. Soon to be on the road to 25, where you'll still be a unit. And then what?
Ice Cream Man.
Happy birthday to you. That's it.
That's it.
What would you like for your birthday? A bag of Fritos? All my ice cream melted, so you can take a dive in my ice cream soup.
Joe Juarez, Steve is backstab Larson tomorrow. This leads to war between the two. Which 5 wrestlers would you each pick to lead your army? Steve, you get NXT. I get AEW.
Kross, Reed, Gargano, Cole, Raquel. Shotzi number. I just threw out a bunch of names.
I think that's more than 5, in fact.
Oh, I get 5? It's only 5?
Yeah, only 5.
All right. Swap out Gargano for Ciampa. And then take out who did I say again?
I don't remember.
Oh,
Cross, Cole, Reed, Ember, Shotzi. That's 5 right there.
Okay, that's it.
All right.
No, take out Shotzi, put in Raquel.
Okay. I got Kenny, the Young Bucks, Miro, Hikaru Shida, and Nyla Rose.
I think I win. Oh, great. Let's see here. Would you like sprinkles for your birthday? In my ice cream soup. Here's a bowl of ice cream soup. Soup. Did you get Miro?
Garnish with sprinkles. Yeah, I got Miro. Of course I got Miro.
Good job. You lose. Let's see here.
Uninvited Ghost says I win, so there we go.
Well, there you go.
Opinion there.
Well, you know what? We're gonna leave on that win. Hopefully, you'll carry that win into tomorrow's Quizzlemania.
Dude, I already got 2 wins today. We won that poll. I won this.
A couple more, and we're good.
I got
one more big win is all we need. All right.
LX is my 5 Christians.
Christian. All right. Thanks, everybody. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.